Boo! Nah, I got all y'all ass. Boo! Alright, y'all, I'm back with another video. Hey, I'm not home still. Already know what I'm about to say. Say it with me. 3, 2, 1. Starts with a Y, starts with an O. Yo! Welcome back to another video, man. And we're gonna watch a little horror. Oh my god. Horror animated. It's called The Bridge. It's supposed to be scary. And it's by Llama Arts. By Llama Arts. But I don't know if they scary or not. I never watched them. Actually, my girlfriend, she for me, she was like, yo, you should watch these. You should watch these videos. I was like, I don't know. She was like, come on, don't be a little boy. And I was like, who a little boy? She was like, you a little boy. I was like, I'm a little boy again. She was like, you a little boy. I was like, I bet I'm gonna watch it. So I'm watching it. Shout out to you, baby. But I really appreciate it. Thank you. Love you. Thank you. But I'm just saying, like, anyways, it's just, I don't like horror stuff, man. She know this. But we gonna be watching it today, man. You know what I'm saying? Y'all already know what I'm about to say. Subscribe. Subscribe, man. 5 subscribers in this video. We need 5 more. Please share out, man. Please. I really appreciate it. Let's get 30 likes again. 30 likes, yeah. Let's get 30. Not too much, not too little. So 30 likes. Appreciate that, man. But I'm gonna stop talking. I talk too much. It's been 2 minutes already, 3 minutes actually. So let's get straight to the video. Buy an Llama Plushy today.
So this story takes place when I was about 16 years old. At my school, I played for the volleyball team, and every year we would go to a camp and do volunteer work for this guy. The camp was in the middle of nowhere. When we got to the camp, we immediately started to work until 8 p.m. This was around October, so it was already dark at 8.
Woo!
My 2 friends and I were sitting around the fire, trying to figure out something we could do so we weren't so bored. We heard that there was a small river down the hill from the camp, and we thought we could check it out. The problem was that it was some guy's property, and the owner of the camp told us to not disturb him since the guy was a little strange.
Don't go over there.
We weren't really supposed to leave the camp, but being 16 years old, we loved breaking the rules.
Now it's 6.
We walked about 10 minutes from the camp and finally reached the river. It was bigger than we expected, and there was a large wooden bridge that crossed it. The bridge was about 20 feet long and was big enough to let a truck go over it.
It's gonna be a troll!
My 2 friends and I decided to go under the bridge and check it out. As we were walking by the shoreline, we saw 2 headlights off in the distance moving towards the bridge, so we bolted underneath it and hid. We then heard the truck roll over our heads and to the other side. My friends and I chilled there for a while, just talking and throwing rocks in the water. It was about 8:30 at this time, and now it was pretty much pitch black. That's when we started to hear a slow rumble in the distance. The same truck had come back, and this time it was moving much slower. We stayed put under the bridge, stifling our laughter. Eventually, the truck moved over the bridge, but rather than going over to the other side, the truck stopped right on top of us. The only thing you could hear was the rushing water and the hum of the engine. Then, the door of the truck swung open, and out came a loud thump on top of the bridge. Then we heard a loud scream saying,
I know you're out there! I'm gonna find you!
I looked at my friends and they were both shaking in fear. This must have been the crazy property owner, and he seemed pissed that we were on his land. He started screaming and saying he was gonna hurt us if he finds us. We could see that he had a flashlight and was swinging it around looking for us. We heard loud thumps as he walked around a little bit, calling out for us, and thank God he never went under the bridge. Eventually, it went silent, and it sounded as if he went back into his truck. I was too terrified to move. We sat there for about 10 minutes, and then my one friend, who we'll call Trevor, whispered in my ear, saying that we have to go. I gave him a quick nod, and in slow motion, we moved out from under the bridge. We started to army crawl on the shoreline of the river, and I remember looking behind me to see the top of the bridge. I saw a white Ford F-150. In the driver's seat was the man, staring right at me with a sinister smile, and he even gave me a little wave. At that moment, I screamed and ran. My friends saw me run and took off after me. I could hear screaming from behind us. I took a quick glance behind me and saw that he was chasing after us, and I couldn't quite make out the object in his hand, but it seemed to be a weapon of some sort. We ran into the forest and ducked behind a bush. It was pitch black in the forest, and we couldn't hear a thing. We sat there for a while, just shaking. The man never walked by us, and we never heard him. After we gathered our courage, we got up and walked back to camp, got into our tents, and tried to fall asleep. The next morning, we talked to the camp owner about the man that owned the property of the river. The camp owner said that he didn't know much about the man, but he knows that he has some mental problems and he'd been accused of assault. I am so happy that we were able to escape from underneath the bridge. I can't imagine what would have happened if he caught us.
Stupid asses. Why would you go underneath the bridge? Why would you go near the bridge? Why would you leave the camp if it's dark? No. Why would you do that? So we doing a second video right now. Don't want to watch it, but oh, pray for me. Pray. Let's get into this video. Let's get this over with.
This is the most terrifying thing that has ever happened to me. I want to share my story with the world, now that I have closure. It all started a couple years ago when I was living with my girlfriend, who we'll call Sarah for the sake of the story. I remember we were both in the living room watching a movie. We usually did movie nights on Fridays, and it was my turn to select which movie we get to watch. I was personally a horror fanatic, so I chose a horror film. It was pretty late in the night when this occurred, so it really made the movie that much more intense. Sarah wasn't really into the horror genre, so you can imagine the kind of reaction she had throughout the movie. Midway into the movie, Sarah asked if I could walk her to the bedroom. I reply by saying, sure, after the movie's done.
You know I don't like horror. Please just walk me to the bedroom. I'm scared, Trevor.
We can leave when the movie's done. I sat through your whole movie last week, so it's only fair that you finish mine.
Please don't do this to me. I'm really scared, Trevor.
Quit being a chicken. I'm not leaving the couch till this movie's done.
I hate you!
Sarah angrily gets up and heads to the bedroom on her own while I continue watching the movie and mentally prepare myself for the argument that awaited me. About 10 minutes later, my throat begins to itch, so I decide to get a bottle of water in the kitchen. As I stood up from the couch, I get startled as I see Sarah standing in the darkness of the hallway. Sarah, you scared me. I thought you were in bed sleeping. Sarah just stands there with her eyes wide open, gazing into my eyes with her emotionless expression, almost like she was looking into the depths of my soul. I assumed she was still upset about earlier, so I said, I'll be waiting in bed, as I casually walk past her. As I open the bedroom door, I see Sarah laying in bed asleep. My mind raced with mixed emotions of confusion and absolute horror. I could have sworn I just saw her. I decide to peek outside the hallway, only to see nothing. This can't be real. I could have sworn I just saw her. I must be hallucinating. I just need to stop watching scary movies this late at night. I disregard what had just occurred and crawled into bed with Sarah. At 3 a.m. in the morning, I wake up to a loud sound which sounded like glass being shattered. I noticed Sarah was no longer in bed with me, which I found quite bizarre as it was very uncharacteristic for her to be awake at this time of night. I could hear weird noises coming from the washroom outside the bedroom. I cautiously get up and began to approach the washroom. I could hear Sarah in there. It sounded like she was talking to someone, or something. I opened the door, only to discover the most terrifying thing I had ever laid eyes on. I can see Sarah standing in the bathtub covered in blood. She had smashed the mirror and used the broken shards to lacerate her body entirely. She then began yelling the words,
I hate you! I hate you! I hate you!
Her voice was demonic. I was thoroughly convinced that this was not my girlfriend and that she had been possessed by some sort of evil entity. I stood there quivering, not being able to move a muscle out of shell shock.
I'll be able to move.
Sarah then pulls the shower curtain, unveiling a message on the wall which spelled, I hate you, written in blood. My legs go completely numb as I collapse to the floor. Sarah then picks up a large piece of the broken mirror and yells one last time in her demonic voice,
I hate you!
She then pierces the shard across my chest repeatedly, stabbing and stabbing and stabbing. I remember seeing a bright white light as my life flashed before me. That's when I open my eyes and wake up to a movie playing in the living room. This isn't the horror movie I played earlier. It must have been a movie Sarah put on. I checked the time and it was exactly 3 a.m. I looked to my right only to see Sarah staring dead at me with a grimacing look. What's wrong, Sarah?
This is the third time you fell asleep to the movie that I picked on movie night. I hate you.
Sarah?
Bro, get up. This man walking.
Sarah?
Okay. Why she sent me that video? Let me find someone back looking like that girl was. All looking like a crescent moon and stuff. I didn't scream 3 times and stare at it. That's dead. No, I'm gone. Running. That's the end of the video though, man. That's crazy. Make sure you like and subscribe like always. Ooh. That voice, man. I have a headache. Damn! Let's get to 100 subscribers, man. And come on, man. 100, just 100, bro. Please subscribe. I really appreciate it. But I'll see y'all next time.